Well, hello everybody. I am going to talk a little bit about grief, so just so that you know. And one of the things I found on my own grief journey is people would say, I understand how you feel. No, you don't understand how I feel, and I don't understand how you feel. It is such a personal journey, and we all experience it differently. And I have to say, I was surprised. I'm very empathetic, I'm very caring, I'm compassionate, and I thought that I understood how people felt when they'd lost someone they loved, and you say all these platitudes to people, and the truth is that once you experience it, you really had no idea. You had no idea how it felt. And even Brian, when he was very sick, he said, oh, you'll be over me in 2 weeks, because we knew what was going to happen. We knew he was very sick. And so you prepare, you think you prepare, and yet you're not prepared. You're not ready for this loss, even though it was coming. And so when you are confronted with a friend or someone that you know that has just lost someone, please don't say I understand. I know it's really hard to know what to say because we don't know, right? But understanding it, you don't know their situation, their life, what happened, their relationship, any of it. And so it might be better to even say, I can't even imagine what you're going through. So when you are trying to comfort somebody who you love, who you care for, maybe even just an arm around them. And as we're talking about what to not say, at least he had a long life. Oh my God, that's a terrible one, isn't it? Does that mean you love that person any less just because they've had a long life? No. At least you have another child. No. Can you imagine the grief of that? So when you are about to talk to somebody about grief, about their loss, be very cognizant of what it is you're saying, and never start with, well, at least he's in a better place. At least he's not in pain. At least. Don't ever start a conversation with at least. It's not good. So I'm going to talk more about grief as I'm doing the grief counseling, grief coaching. I'm going to talk more about that as we go along, because I want us to have conversations about grief. We will all experience it. I want us to talk about it. I want us to know how to help others when they're suffering from it, because it's going to touch us all. So let's start to be open about it. And the other thing I would say is, how are you? No, I'm not good. I'm not good when somebody asks that after grief. So that's one to not use as well. So stop thinking about how you talk to people, those that you care about, after grief. And just think about it before you open your mouth. Maybe don't even open your mouth and just take their hand. Just some thoughts on it, but we're going to start talking more about that. And I would love to know below, what is the one thing, if you have gone through grief, that used to be really difficult for you when somebody would say it? For me, it really was, how are you? And I know it came from a good place, and I had to let that go and understand that this was coming from a good place, somebody wanting to know how I was genuinely, and my feeling like, I can't really tell you how I feel because it would crush you, because it's crushing me. I feel dead. I feel bereft. Nobody really wants to hear that, I don't think. And so maybe come around with a different way of approaching people who have just gone through grief, and see if you can comfort them in another way. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.